On a crisp, sunny morning in a valley surrounded by tall, snow-capped mountains, lived a llama and an alpaca. They were the best of friends, but they couldn't look more different if they tried. Llama was tall, with a thick, sturdy coat that made him look like he was wearing a giant woolly sweater. He loved to climb the hills and look down over the valley like a watchful guardian. Alpaca, on the other hand, was smaller, fluffier, and had a gentle, melodic hum that made her sound like a soft lullaby. She preferred the meadows, where she could dance among the flowers and chase butterflies. One day, as they trotted along the riverbank, a group of animals whispered and giggled behind their backs. "Look at Llama and Alpaca," snickered a squirrel. "One looks like a giant cloud, and the other like a tall tower. What an odd pair." Llama and Alpaca overheard this, and for the first time, they felt awkward about their differences. Llama's usually confident stance seemed to shrink a little, and Alpaca's cheerful humming fell silent. "Maybe we shouldn't be friends if we're so different," Llama muttered, staring at his reflection in the river. His tall, strong body looked even bigger next to Alpaca's small, fluffy figure. "But Llama," Alpaca said softly, nudging his side, "I think our differences are what make us special. Let's prove it to everyone." Llama hesitated, but then he saw the spark of determination in Alpaca's eyes. "All right, Alpaca," he agreed, "let's show them what we can do together." The next day, the valley buzzed with excitement as the animals gathered to watch Llama and Alpaca in a race. But this wasn't just any race. It was a race that combined two very different paths, one steep and rocky, leading up the hill, and the other smooth and winding through the meadow. "Ready, set, go," shouted a blue jay, flapping its wings to start the race. Llama charged up the rocky path, his strong legs making quick work of the uneven terrain. He leaped over boulders and scaled the steep hill with ease. He glanced back, expecting to see Alpaca struggling, but she was nowhere in sight. Meanwhile, Alpaca was sprinting through the meadow. Her fluffy coat bounced as she weaved through the tall grass, dodging flowers and hopping over small puddles. She was light on her feet, moving gracefully like the wind. The animals watching from the meadow cheered, amazed by her speed. At the top of the hill, Llama paused, panting slightly. He could see the entire valley from here, the river sparkling like silver, the meadows like a patchwork quilt. And there, far below, he spotted Alpaca gliding through the fields like a fluffy cloud. "She's incredible," Llama thought, feeling a swell of pride for his friend. But just as Llama was about to continue, he heard a cry for help. Down by the river, a baby rabbit was caught on a slippery rock, unable to get back to the shore. Llama's heart raced. He knew he was too far to get there quickly, but Alpaca was closer. "Alpaca," he shouted down the hill. "There's a rabbit in trouble near the river." Without a second's hesitation, Alpaca turned on her heels and raced towards the riverbank. Her small, nimble body allowed her to hop across the stones and reach the scared little rabbit. She lowered her head gently, and the rabbit climbed onto her back. "You're safe now," Alpaca cooed, her voice soothing the frightened rabbit. As Alpaca carried the rabbit back to safety, the animals gathered around, whispering in awe. "Did you see that?" murmured a deer. "Alpaca was so quick and agile. I've never seen anyone move like that." When Llama finally made it down the hill, he found Alpaca surrounded by grateful animals. The rabbit's mother thanked Alpaca, her eyes filled with tears of relief. Llama stepped forward, standing tall and proud. "I couldn't have done it without Alpaca," he said. "She's quick and brave. She saved the day." Alpaca blushed under her fluffy fur. And I couldn't have seen the rabbit without Llama's sharp eyes, she replied. Together, we make a great team. From that day on, the animals of the valley looked at Llama and Alpaca differently. They no longer whispered or giggled. Instead, they admired the duo for their unique strengths and their incredible teamwork. To celebrate, the animals threw a grand party in the meadow. The birds sang cheerful songs, the rabbits brought fresh berries, and the squirrels decorated the trees with colorful leaves. As the sun set and the sky turned shades of pink and orange, Llama and Alpaca stood together, watching the party. Llama looked down at Alpaca, his tall silhouette against the setting sun. I'm glad we're different, Llama said with a smile. Me too, Alpaca agreed, nuzzling her friend. Being different is what makes us special. And as the stars began to twinkle in the sky, Llama and Alpaca realized something important. It wasn't about being the same. It was about celebrating who they were, embracing their differences.